Today we're going to be ranking Phase 5 of the MCU, and actually looking back at these titles, I was pleasantly surprised. There's a lot of talk that Phase 5 of the MCU is bad, but honestly, with 13 projects, I'm not going to count Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I don't think that's canon to the MCU. I don't know why it's included on the Phase 5 list, but then X-Men 97 isn't, and that seems like it's also in the same thing, but whatever. So I'm not counting either of those, but of the 13 main projects of Phase 5, I actually like most of them. I don't think they're really that bad. But you'll see that in a second. Let's get into the rankings here. Starting at number 13 with Secret Invasion, this show is terrible. The AI opening, the killing of Maria Hill, and just overall a messy plot and just nothing. I have nothing positive to say about this show. Sam Jackson can't save this mess, and neither can Don Cheadle. There's a lot of good things that could have come from this. I actually had kind of high hopes from this going in, but there's just nothing positive to even begin to say about this show. It was just bad from start to finish. I don't think it's going to surprise anyone to be at the bottom of this list. Next up, we're going to do 12 and 11 together because I actually haven't seen either of these. And yes, that means Secret Invasion is so bad, I am putting it under two shows I did not watch. That is What If Seasons 2 and 3 and Loki Season 2. If you happen to watch my MCU Phase 4 video from like 3 years ago, I did not really care for Loki. That hasn't changed. I still don't care for the series Loki. I get that a lot of people love it, and that's great. That's why I put it at 11. Because I know a lot of other people do really love it, but it just doesn't work for me. What If Season 2 and 3, I did not even bother trying to watch. I tried with Season 1. I was excited. I wanted to like it. It's animated. It has a really cool premise, but it's just not very good. I just didn't care. And I ended up never really watching more of it, so it's going in at 12, just as two shows I didn't watch, with Loki being the far more popular one, so I'm giving it 11, but honestly, I didn't watch either one of these and have no intentions of doing so. Alright, going into number 10 with projects that I've actually seen and watched and, and have real valid opinions on, Ant-Man and the Wasp. This movie was bad. This is another one where, like Secret Invasion, I kind of had hopes for it. I actually liked the first two Ant-Man movies. I wasn't expecting the world of this movie or anything, but I thought it would be fine. And Paul Rudd is great as always. There's a lot to like with him as the character, but nothing else in this movie's good. This is the movie that kind of ruined Kang for a lot of people, and while I don't necessarily agree, I don't think Kang's a good villain to begin with. No matter how good you think Jonathan Majors was in the role, Kang's just not a good villain. He's just not a good villain in the comics, and I don't think he's going to translate well to the screen. I don't think he was a good choice as the new Thanos, and I don't think that was really ever a good idea. So this was never really going to work, and honestly, Ant-Man and the Wasp kind of proved that. It wasn't very interesting. The movie's overall just not very good, and I can see why people see that as the start of a really bad sign for this phase. But to be honest, that's the only bad movie in this phase, in my opinion. Coming in at number 9 is Echo. And I actually don't dislike this show. There's nothing really wrong with it. That's not true. There's a lot wrong with it, but I don't remember it enough to have any real complaints, except that I don't remember it enough. I do really like the Native American powers they give her with her ancestors and stuff. I thought that was actually really cool. And the fight with Daredevil was really cool. But honestly, besides those couple things, I don't really remember a ton from this show. It kind of just came and went for me, which is why it's so low on the list. It's still better than Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm willing to rewatch Echo because I don't remember it. I remember Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I'm not going back to that show. I'm not going back to that movie. Never. I don't think I'll ever rewatch that movie. That movie was bad. And at number 8, we have Daredevil, and this is, I guess, where it starts to get just to, actually pretty good stuff. I like Daredevil, for the most part. Obviously, Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio as Daredevil and Fisk are amazing. They still are just as good as they were in the Netflix show. despite this show not being as good as some of the Netflix seasons, although I don't think it's worse than all of the Netflix seasons. It mostly is, somewhere in the middle, but they still are incredible in their roles. And again, I like Muse. I did really like White Tiger when we saw him. However, they killed Foggy. They killed my guy. I didn't like that. I think that was a dumb idea. And frankly, I'm being petty, but that kind of takes this show down a notch for me. It honestly probably should be like 2 spots higher, but they killed Foggy. So I'm going to be petty, and it's going to be at number 8. Next up at number 7, we have Captain America, Brave New World, and I actually kind of like this movie. Like, it's fine. I did a video on this movie in by itself. It's a fine movie. I don't have anything against it. It's not the best. It's just okay. But given the rest of the movies in the phase, I think just okay is okay. It's acceptable. It does come in pretty low on this list. Honestly, I mean, it's the second lowest movie on this list, but the other movies the other movies released in this phase, I think, are all pretty good. Like the top 3 movies on this list, I think, are all just good movies, like incredible movies. And then one of them I just really like, but for some reason everyone else hates. But the other 4 movies on this list are all really good. So this one had to come in lower, but I don't think it's like a bad movie. I would rewatch this, and I probably will rewatch it at some point. It's not bad. I think the Hulk stuff was like fine at the end. I do really like Sam Wilson as Captain America. He's a lot of fun. I loved Falcon, and he still fights like Falcon. Like, his fight scenes are great, and that's kind of what I want out of a good Captain America. His fighting. That's what kind of sells me on it. That's what's fun. I think that the problem is the plot here was just a little messy. I think if they cleaned that up a little bit, it would have been a lot better, but it is what it is. This movie took way too long to come out, so it ended up being just an okay movie. I think if this had come out in the last phase, I would have been a little bit more excited for it, but taking so long to come out and then kind of just being stagnant in terms of like overall MCU development wasn't the best, and that's really what holds it back for me. And at number 6, we have Ironheart, and this was a decent show. I didn't love what it had to say about AI and like how she brings her friend back as like an AI. I thought that was all weird. I didn't like that, which is why this is so much lower on the list, although it is in the top half. It's at the bottom of the top half, and for that reason, I just don't love what it has to say about AI. I don't really like that she brought her friend back as AI, and while I get that is supposed to be a negative, the show doesn't really treat it like that much of a negative. Like, it's kind of like it is treated as a negative, but then everyone just kind of gets over it, and I don't really like that. But outside of that, I think it's great. Riri Williams is a good character. She's a lot of fun to watch, and then Sacha Baron Cohen looks amazing as Mephisto. I didn't expect Mephisto to be in this. I mean, it was rumored, but like he's been rumored forever, so who knows what's going on there. But he was in the show at the end, and he's good. I think that could be a villain that we see a lot more of going forward. I really hope it is, because he was really good as Mephisto, and I like Mephisto. I want to see more Mephisto. So this show was good. I do actually like this show. This is probably if Echo through Captain America are like the start of things being like decent, like watchable and enjoyable, this is where things become like just actually good. Like, this is a good show. I would recommend watching this. This is just fine. Like, there's if you like the MCU, you'll probably like this show. There really isn't much to complain about here. This is just a good show. And now at number 5, we have The Marvels. And I really like The Marvels. At this point, you can probably start to piece together the top 4 here, and those are all better than The Marvels. I don't think that's like a stretch. The thing that's probably a stretch is people are probably expecting The Marvels to be way lower, but like, The Marvels is good. Brie Larson is a fantastic actress, regardless of your opinions on her as Captain Marvel. She is a very good actress, and she's doing really good in this movie. And it's a fun movie. Like, this is just a fun movie. Also, Teyonah Parris as Monica Rambeau is doing really good work here. And the standout and probably my favorite part of the movie, Iman Vellani as Kamala Khan. I loved Miss Marvel, the show, and she's doing just as good here. She is by far the best part of this movie, but that, like, carries the movie. The movie is a lot of fun. Like, it's just a lot of fun to watch, which I kind of understand that there's not a huge amount of further MCU development. This is something I just complained about with Captain America, and I kind of get that. But at the same time, this came out earlier than Captain America did. It does sort of develop, like, they do tie into the incursions and stuff at the end with Monica Rambeau going to the X-Men universe, but that's not the Fox X-Men universe because there's another binary there. It's a whole thing. And, like, that's cool. Like, I think that is interesting. Like, it's a whole movie that does its own thing, that still ties into what's going on. It's just a fun movie as well. And, like, sometimes that's just what you need. The problem I have with, like, Captain America not really doing anything for the greater MCU is how late in how late in this saga it is. Like, it's towards the end of Phase 4, being one of the last couple movies, and also we're now more than halfway into the multiverse saga. It's also Captain America. This is his second project in the multiverse saga. I get that one was a TV show, but whatever. It's still his second project in the multiverse saga, and it's Captain America. Like, he was leading the first saga. It was him and Iron Man. That was the big components of the saga. We don't have that now, so I kind of expected a little more from the Captain America movie to, like, really set up what was coming up in, at the time, like, Doomsday and stuff. Like, I expected that, and that's not what we got. Whereas with this, I never really expected it to set up too much. I didn't expect, like, any of these people to be huge players in the saga overall. They're obviously going to be relevant, but I didn't expect them to be, like, leading the Avengers or anything. So for them to just have a fun movie that does tie into the overall plot is enough. Anyway, stop hating on this movie. It's really good. Go watch it. I know you didn't watch it. Nobody fucking watched it. This movie made, like, $0. Nobody watched this movie. Go watch it. It's an actual good movie. Like, if you think the MCU is dying, it's because you skipped movies like this. This was a good movie. And coming in at number 4, we have Deadpool and Wolverine, and I don't think I need to say too much about this movie, except why is it at 4, and when everyone else probably is going to put it at, like, the best movie of the saga. It's probably everyone's favorite movie here, and I guess that's fair. It's a really good movie. It's a really fun movie, but it doesn't really fit with the rest of the multiverse saga. It doesn't really fit in anywhere within the MCU, to be honest. It's just kind of like its own thing, which is fine. It can do that. But it just, I don't know. For all the complaints of, like, nostalgia baiting and cameos everywhere and, like, the typical complaints you get from the MCU, this movie is just those things. Like, the plot doesn't seem like it really matters that much. There's not really anything, like, grand schemed going on here that's going to connect to the wider universe. I'm sure eventually it will in some ways, but at the time of the release, it didn't. And, like, it's cool. We get Ryan Reynolds back as Deadpool. I think he's doing a really good job. We get Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine. I kind of would have preferred a new Wolverine, because Hugh Jackman is getting old, but whatever. It's cool to have him back. Like, I'm not disappointed or anything. And a lot of the X-Men coming back, like, a lot of these old, like, random characters that are never going to get seen again. Fucking Toad was in this movie. Like, some of the things that came back were good. But it was mostly a movie that relied on cameos and, like, cheap pops to get people excited. And like that's fine, but like call it what it is. It's just a fun movie. And when everyone complains about everything, when you complain about these same things in every other movie, it kind of makes me not take this super seriously as like being the best movie. Like there's actual good movies that released in this phase. This is a fun movie, which is why it's right there with the Marvels. They're both just fun movies. They can both just be fun movies. I don't think one is necessarily better than the other, although I did put Deadpool and Wolverine higher just because I think it does a little bit more for the main plot of this phase. I think going forward, the anchor beings will probably be important. And that's fine. But I think they're honestly about the same quality. Like, they're both just some fun, entertaining movies. Except one relies on a lot of cameos to make it fun and entertaining, and the other one doesn't. It pushes two new characters to the MCU that get brought back and used again, and you get more development of them. One of whom, Miss Marvel, I think is a breakout from this multiverse saga. I think she should be a much bigger character in this. And just sneaking into the top 3 as my favorite TV show of this phase is Agatha All Along. I did not expect Agatha All Along to be this good. I thought this was going to be a mediocre TV show based off a character that, while I guess relevant in the comics, is mostly just famous for the song out of WandaVision. And as much as I liked WandaVision, and I thought that she was good in the show, I didn't think it was going to carry her own show. But I was wrong. This show was great. Everything about this show was great. I love this show. This was honestly, it's almost my favorite thing in this phase. The only reason the other two are above it, we'll get to them. I'm sure you can figure out what they are. It's because I think they're just a little bit better in some ways. Like, I take movies over TV shows, and that's kind of, like, that's really just it. I think that might just be the only reason. Because they're all about the same. Well, they're not all about it. Number 1 is like far and away better than anything else on this list, but the number 2 and Agatha All Along are about equal quality, in my opinion. They're only, like, the real difference is I prefer a movie to a TV show, and that kind of knocks Agatha down a little bit. But with that being said, Agatha All Along was great. It was really cool to see Billy Maximoff come into the show. He's, anything to do with Wanda is going to make me happy, and here we have more Wanda. But also, my favorite part, Aubrey Plaza's in this. I love Aubrey Plaza. She's great, and she plays Death amazingly in this show. Her relationship with Agatha is incredibly entertaining, and they're all just funny. Like, everyone in this cast is funny. It's a fun show. I like the elements of the show, like the spooky, witchy stuff. That's always fun for me. The magical side of the MCU is also a lot of fun for me. It kind of hints towards a character who is one of my favorites from the MCU in Wanda, and it just overall makes a fun show. And the music's good. That always helps. The music's good. So, like, this is definitely the best show of the phase, but honestly, it's, like, really pushing for number 2, and, like, it's number 3, but it's really pushing for that number 2 spot as well. It is really good. Definitely watch this show if you haven't. I get why you might not think it's very good, or may not have expected it to be very good, but it is. It is absolutely amazing. Coming in at number 2, we have Thunderbolts, and this is just a good movie. Like, MCU or not, this is just a good movie. I don't think I have to say too much about this. I did do a whole video on it. It's good. Go watch it. It's really good. Florence Pugh, David Harbour, Sebastian Stan, they all are doing amazing work in this. Everyone is. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is in this movie. She's great. I have a whole video on this. I don't know how much more I can say without just rehashing that. It is a very, very good movie. It's nice to see the MCU do something this different and do it well. I know they kind of not jokingly market it as like an A24 movie set in the MCU. And it kind of is. Like, it does have that vibe to it. But that's a good thing. they make good movies. I wouldn't take that as a joke. Like, make more movies like this. Do more of this. And coming in at number 1, I think this was pretty obvious. We have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This is by far my favorite movie of this phase. By far the best movie of this phase. And one of, if not the best movie the MCU has ever produced. They were fools to let James Gunn go. That firing between the end, like between Endgame and making this movie, where he had time to go make a DC movie with the Suicide Squad, that was a dumb idea. They fucked up. Now he's running DC, and he just put out an amazing Superman movie, and it looks like everything's going well over there. They've had a couple projects out at this point. I don't want to talk too much about them, but they've had a couple projects out at this point with Superman, Creature Commandos, and Peacemaker Season 2 is coming out in like a couple days. And everything has been good. And the best movie that you have made in a number of years, again, or if not the best movies you've ever made, and he's not working for you no more. That was not a good idea. But about Guardians of the Galaxy 3. To be fair, I am a sucker for an animal rights movie. You're going to get me on this. That's fine. But it's also just a good movie. He pulls together things that were not part of his plan, like Gamora being dead and sort of brought back. Things that he had no real intentions of following up on, like Adam Warlock. But he does it in a way that not only fits the movie, but makes the movie better. The fact that Gamora and Quill don't end up together, despite that clearly being the plan going into Guardians of the Galaxy 2, is good. It makes the themes of loss so much better. And Rocket's story throughout this movie is incredible. It holds everything together. It recontextualizes 1 and 2 for the series. It really is good. It is not even good. This movie is great. This movie is fantastic. I love this movie. I don't really have much else to say. I don't even think I made a video about this movie. I'm pretty sure this came out while I wasn't making videos, really. But if you haven't seen this, like, I don't know what you're doing. This is the best thing the MCU has probably ever done. I don't think they're going to top this. I don't know if they can top. I don't know if James Gunn can top this. I don't know if he can make a better movie than this. Like, there's an argument that Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is better. I disagree, but again, the animal rights thing might just be why. But even still, if that's the two, like, if those two are competing as the best movies in the MCU, and he's no longer working for you, you might have a problem. And also, I don't know if James Gunn can top these. Like, I don't know if he can top this movie. This movie is incredible. I hope he can, because I would love to see DC movies made this good. And to be fair, I think Superman is really close. I think Superman is about as good as the first Guardians movie. So it's not like he can't make good movies or something, or like he made one good movie and he's never going to do it again. He's still making good stuff. But I think this was a stretch for everyone involved. I don't think Marvel's making a movie this good probably ever again. Anyway, so a quick recap of my list. It goes Secret Invasion, What If Seasons 2 and 3, Loki Season 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Echo, Daredevil, Captain America Brave New World, Ironheart, The Marvels, Deadpool and Wolverine, Agatha All Along, Thunderbolts, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 at number 1. Thanks for watching. This was a long time in the making. I'm actually a little delayed on this, but it's fun to discuss the MCU, and I don't really get a chance to do that super often. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.